a very special guest here. I got to explain this story. My Twitter DMs saw new mama and radio colleague Carmen Cruz. You know her, you love her. She checked in with me yesterday, sharing baby pictures and stuff. And then she told me the story of our next guest, Victor Faiz. He is a new immigrant to Canada. Victor actually fled Afghanistan after speaking up against the Taliban. And now Victor is trying to navigate the red tape in his mission to have his family join him here. To tell us the full story and hopefully have someone somewhere hear this who can help him, we welcome Victor Faiz to the show. Victor, thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's my pleasure.
So take us on the journey. What happened? What were you doing in Afghanistan that made it so you had to flee?
Okay. Thank you so much once again for having me here. And I was been in Afghanistan and completed my education from outside Afghanistan. When I gone back in 2014, unfortunately, the Taliban, they killed my father. And that was the day my life has changed totally, completely to involve into the society. And I feel the society, I feel the people, how badly they're living and what's happening to the life of the common man in that country with the presence of 50 or 100 international alliance in that country. But still, I feel more responsible to now take an action. So I started being into the civil service society organizations and became a civil service activist. Enter to the society, start fighting for the women right, for the human right, for the awareness of the public, how to build a nation. We have to take the responsibility to have a better life in the future. Due to that, the activities I came up as an outspoken person, became a public figure, and encountered by the terrorist group of the society where we were fighting against them through our word of mouth, through our education, and unfortunately, with the presence of the 50 or more international alliance in the country, with the support of United Nations and United States, billions of dollars came on that country, and we have feel how corruption is going on in this country, how the imported politicians are ruling on the country, what they are doing. So we thought now it's time for the change. But the change of nothing have been done except the corruption, except let us to either die or flee from the country. And luckily, I was one of those lucky people, those who could get out of the country and left behind all work, activities, family, children, mom, father, brother, everyone. And I'm today hopeless in Canada, living in Vancouver. But at the same time, I'm very lucky, and I really appreciate the government of Canada and the people of Canada. I feel love and respect here in this country, especially in the BC, Vancouver, where I'm living. A beautiful country, a beautiful people, and a beautiful nation. I'm lucky to be a part of this society. And now I'm totally hopeless because of what happened on 15 August in the country in Afghanistan. My family left behind in a dangerous situation where the Taliban took over the country, unfortunately, and just looking forward how to help the society, help my community, and how to reach their voice to the world nation, and especially to do something for two of my beautiful daughter and my wife here.
So, Victor, the federal Liberal leader, Justin Trudeau, said this earlier today, saying that it is going to be difficult to get Afghans out, but there is some movement with regard to international control. Have a listen to this.
Yes, I continuously follow with that one. You have seen the incident, what happened in the Kabul airport. The people are rushing to the airport. That was the two reasons I wish the federal government shouldn't announce that one before, one day or the same day where the Kabul have been captured by the Taliban. The people rush and they thought, okay, the airplanes are coming, the military airbus are coming. Some of people, those who are taking advantage, and they did some campaign that, the Canada is taking people, rush to the airport. You have seen how many lives have been lost on the airport, and people are still standing outside. But it will be a very difficult time for me, at least. I have my proof of sending several emails, being civil society activist, a public figure in the country. Still, I've been in contact, continuing my work with my people, with the youth in the country. I knew what's going to happen, but it was unexpectedly, an imported president in the country. He had a deal with the Taliban, and he just fled the country. He left everyone behind. For sure, what the Prime Minister of Canada said, it's very difficult to get them out. But I was expecting the Immigration Canada, because my family case was especially two of my children, and my wife was on the process, and I asked them that, hey, this is going to happen. Please help me at least to get them out of the country. But unfortunately, they said it's a COVID time and we cannot proceed right now, so be patient.
We're going to try and help you, Victor. Hold on one second. We're going to try and help you. I want our listener to understand what's happening here. So you have gone through the process. You're trying to cut through the red tape. Listen to this clip. This is federal Liberal leader Justin Trudeau from earlier today. Have a listen to this.
But now that the airport is back under American and international control, we are able to fly in regularly with Canadian military aircraft to ensure airlift of people out there. The limit, however, is not on Canadian capacity, on Canadian space and airlift. The limit on getting people out is the fact that the Taliban continue to block access for Afghans wishing to flee the country. We are going to be there with aircraft, with spaces on aircraft to bring people to safety. But unless the Taliban shift their posture significantly, which is something the international community and Canada are working on, it is going to be very, very difficult to get many people out. We will get some, certainly. But to get many people out, as many as we'd want, is going to be almost impossible.
Jody Vance with you. And just before we get back to our conversation with Victor Faiz on his efforts to get rescue his family indeed from Afghanistan, the COVID-19 numbers are in for the last 24 hours and they're up again. 689 new cases in the last 24 hours alone have been identified across our province. 2 people have passed away. The hospitalizations are up. 121 people in hospital now. That's up 14 just in the last 24 hours. 56 people are in intensive care. That's up 3. The good news is on vaccinations. 82.9% of British Columbians have had their first dose, and 74% of British Columbians are now fully vaccinated. Now we reconnect with Victor Faiz. Victor, thank you for staying with us for another segment. I think it's really important that we talk through the specifics of how you need action taken, where you are in this process, and where is your family? And if they could get to the airport, would you being here, filing all of the appropriate paperwork and et cetera, help them to get on one of the transport flights that federal Liberal leader Justin Trudeau was speaking about earlier in that clip that we played? Okay.
Partially, just luckily through some connections there in Kabul, through the families. 2 of my sisters and my mom, my brother, I could get them out for the neighborhood country, but my children and my wife stayed there because it was as I said before, it was unexpected even happen in Afghanistan. Everyone was quite desperate and was thinking what's going to happen, where we're going to go. So somehow my family is totally now, one is this side, one is that side. Still, I'm not in contact with my mom, but my children and my daughters are living with her parents there in Kabul. I don't know. I just heard about the Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister. What he said today for getting people out of Afghanistan. But I'm still don't have any clue or what to do, where to call them, how to go to the airport, by what basis. Usually what I heard from the airport, you have to have a documentation to show that either you are a member of parliament or a government, someone your life is at risk. So my family is in a desperate need, and they don't know what to do and what basis they have to present themselves over there to allow them to enter to the military base in the airport.
That must be incredibly stressful for you and your family. How old are your daughters?
One is about 5.5, about 6 years, another one 3 years.
So two little girls and your wife there. When you speak with your wife, does she feel the tension? What is it like for her knowing the Taliban, even though they are professing that they are a different group than they were in the 90s? That we most of us can remember the terror that was inflicted on women in Afghanistan. How is your wife managing things, if I may ask such a personal question?
Yeah, for sure. That was perspective from the Taliban on the Western world, that what they were doing in 1996 up to 2001 when they were in a position and the power. But unfortunately, they have spread their blood and shade in Afghanistan by terrorist activities in the country. My wife, she's kind of hospitalized with her parents. Two of my daughter, paralyzed. They sent me yesterday a videos. Somehow, even the internet is not working properly. They sent me a video. My two of my daughter, they're shocked when the small one, he's holding a pillow, going around here and there. He's afraid of too much firing was in the city. That's why. For sure. After that, 2001 up to now, they spread a lot of blood and shed terror, especially on the women. She has not been outside yet because they're afraid. They're totally afraid. Although they're saying we're not going to harm the people, you can see a lot of people, I believe, have saw the news that most of the province they have shoot the women, they have tortured them. It will take time to believe them. That they have changed, but I don't think so. They're going to change themselves because they took the power by the military forces, and they're going to start their own ideology in the country. And it's very tough, especially for the women, to live on that country under their regime.
Right. I'm imagining your wife. You're here in British Columbia. Your wife is in Kabul with two small children. How would she even be able to get herself from where she is staying with her parents to get to the airport, even if she had the proper documentation? I mean, that's what we're hearing, is that the Taliban are blocking the entrances and the ability for people to get through, and certainly women.
Yeah, but if as I said before, if you have a documentation somehow, although there is a crowd, but there are people from families and friends where if there is a way where I can take them to the airport. I know a lot of people in that place. Maybe the family members, those who are main, maybe they can take them out to the airport and reach the area.
Well, I tell you, Victor, your story is one that is tragic and yet hopeful. What if there's somebody listening who thinks that they could help Victor Faiz with his mission to retrieve his wife and his children from Afghanistan? This is our moment. This is our opportunity to do something meaningful here in the radio community. Reach out to us. Certainly on our regular phone lines. Eric Chapman is monitoring our buzz line, 604-331-2899, 604-331-2899. We'll take a link of this conversation, Victor, and we're going to share it far and wide. And we will do everything we can to find a way to help you get through to the powers that be. I thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Yeah, that was my pleasure. And thank you so much from the government of Canada that at least I'm here today. And I can support my family, and I'm home for the family. And thank you so much for the nation of the world. And thank you so much for you amazing guys here. At least still, I feel that the humanity is alive here, and the people are there. They can hear our voice now today. And I ask every Canadian citizen here, where I'm living in this country, I pretend to be a Canadian citizen, a responsible citizen in the future of this country. And I will ask each and everyone to pray for my country, pray for the innocent people in that country.
Oh, Victor, I feel your pain. It is the obligation of every person born in a safer room to open the door when someone in danger knocks. Victor is knocking on our door. Be well, be well. We will stay in touch.